Yes, please. Come in.
Hi.
Come in. Have a seat. Great. What was your name?
Jamie.
Jamie. Awesome.
Yeah, Jamie.
So, Jamie, for today, I just have a couple quick questions for you. I just need you to be as honest as possible, okay? So, question number 1 is, how strong would you say that you are? I mean, 20. 20. All right, 20 strong. It's not bad. Very good. Okay, and then just, in general, how many bones would you say that there are? Do you mean like in the world? Sure. Yeah, in the world.
Too many.
Honestly, too many. Too many. Yeah, listen, I would have to agree. Wow, Jamie, I'm not gonna lie. You kind of nailed it. Okay, you nailed the interview. You've got the job.
All right, sweet.
I don't even know what the job is. You can start right away.
All right.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Goodbye then. Hello everyone, welcome back to Solo Mode. My name is Jamie from Foster the Meeple, and I am here again today to do another solo playthrough for you all. Today's playthrough is actually going to be on 20 Strong from Chip Theory Games, which is their new solo-only, card-driven, dice-rolling solo game that is so hard. I might die in the first round because I myself am not 20 strong, okay? Just want to throw that out there. So 20 Strong, for anybody that doesn't know, comes with multiple different decks or sets that you're able to play. It comes with a base set, which is called Solar Sentinels, which just uses the base rules. It also comes with Too Many Bones, as well as Hopolamachus Victorum. Hopolamachus Victorum. I can't say that one. I get tongue-tied every time I try. Anyways, for today's playthrough, we are going to be playing the Too Many Bones variation of 20 Strong. Too Many Bones, for anybody that doesn't know, is one of my all-time favorite games. I love it, and this is kind of just a quicker way to play Too Many Bones. Not exactly, but it gives a lot of the same feelings and vibes. So, as per usual, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to play, and then we are going to dive right into the game. So, let's learn how to play, I suppose. I'm going to roll up my sleeves for this one. All right, so Too Many Bones, 20 Strong. 20 Strong, Too Many Bones. For the purposes of this video, I am only going to be talking about the rule set for the Too Many Bones set, but just know that the base rules are used for all of the different set, and then there's just tweaks. But these are the base rules with the tweaks for Too Many Bones. Hopefully that makes sense. So, in 20 Strong, Too Many Bones, you are going to be taking on the role of a gear lock, just like in Too Many Bones, the board game. You can choose any gear lock that you would like. Each of them comes with their own set of stats, as well as innate ability, a backup plan, and then they are able to flip for their innate +1, which is just an even better version of their innate ability. So you are going to be choosing a gear lock, and we're just going to set Nugget in front of us for now. The goal is going to be to defeat a tyrant, and the game comes with 4 different tyrants. So at the beginning of the game, you select which tyrant you would like to overcome, and that card is going to give you some setup rules as well as some further information. As an example, if we were to select Nom, it's going to tell us in this little gear symbol how many days we have in order to defeat the tyrant. So Nom takes 9 days. So we have 9 days before we're allowed to challenge him, up to 12 days. So once we hit our 12th day, which we'll talk about days here in a second, then we must challenge him. Then there's going to be some different setup rules. It's also going to tell you what his health is, his damage, and then once you actually activate him, you're going to flip over and there's going to be some kind of an ability there that is going to mess with you a little bit. Okay, so the reason why this game is called 20 Strong is because there are 20 dice that come with this game. 3 of those dice are your stat dice, which correspond with the stats on your gear lock that you're going to choose. As an example, if we were to pick Nugget, she has a health of 2, a strategy of 3, and a reroll of 1. So we would just set our stat counters next to our gear lock that match what the starting abilities have. So those are 3 of the dice. The rest of the dice are this beautiful little rainbow that we got going on over here. We have yellow, green, blue, purple, and red dice, all of which have different strengths on them. Your weakest die are going to be your yellow die. So on the 6 sides, 2 of them are going to have hits, where everything else is a miss and it's a blank. In green, 3 of the sides have hits. Blue, 4 of the sides have hits. Purple, 5 of the sides have hits. And then red, every side has a hit. You love it. You love to see it. There are on some sides of the die critical hits as well, which look just a little bit different. There's kind of like a little wraparound loopy-doopy around it, and that's how you know it's a critical hit, and that is actually 2 strength versus 1 strength, so it's just a stronger hit value. As I mentioned, your goal is to defeat a tyrant, but you can't defeat the tyrant until you get to the day where you're allowed to challenge the tyrant. So you're probably wondering, what the heck do I do for the rest of the time? I am so glad you asked. So this game is played over a series of days, and during those days you are going into an activation, essentially. So during the activation, what you're going to decide to do is either battle some of the baddies that are out in front of you, or do an encounter, okay? So we have a deck here of encounters, which we'll go over, and then you also have 1-point baddies and 5-point baddies. So every time we take a turn, go into a new day, our day counter is going to go up by 1. That is going to tell us a couple of things. Primarily, it's going to tell us how much time we have until we can defeat the tyrant, but it's also what our battle queue is made of. So for anyone who is familiar with Too Many Bones, every time you have a fight, a combat, you have a battle queue. So the battle queue in this game is equal to the number of days that you're on. So in the first round, if you decide to do a battle, day 1, your battle queue is going to be a 1-point baddie. If we're on day 6, it would be a 5-point baddie plus a 1-point baddie. So using as few cards as possible, you're going to build your battle queue. So you can always choose just to do a battle. And maybe at the beginning of the game, you might want to do that because you're fighting less monsters, and it might just be an easy way to get some cool items or abilities, things like that. Or you can always choose to do an encounter. Now there are 3 different kinds of encounters in the encounter deck. There are tyrant encounters, which are these blue cards. They're going to tell you what you need to do right on the card. The reason why you want to do tyrant encounters is because the more of these that are left in your deck by the time you get to your tyrant, the worse your life is going to be. They just make it harder. So you really want to get through these, even though it's making things a little bit tougher for you. Okay, so you're going to do that. Usually they're adding additional things into the battle queue. As an example, this one, you're going to build your battle queue with plus 2 points. So if you were on day 6, you would end up having to get 8 points worth of baddies. The next type of encounter you can do is a lock-picking encounter, which are these red cards. If this is on the top of your encounter deck and you decide you want to do that, you simply take it and put it in your inventory. I'm going to talk about inventory and how that corresponds with your die, but just know that's what you do. You take it and you leave it here. Now with the lock pick, it's going to give you a special item, but you don't get it right away. So essentially, anytime that you roll your die and maybe you get an extra hit that you don't need to assign to a baddie, you can assign it to a corresponding color on your lock pick. And then once that's full, you can take your dice that are on there, put them back into your active dice pool, and then you get to flip it over, and now you have access to that item. A lot of these items can be really helpful. Some of them are extensions of your backup plan, which we'll talk about in a second, but this is basically extra item and extra gear for you. The third type of encounter that you can come across is called a Mulner encounter. And these are basically going to give you just some options, okay? So you can either do a combat and it's going to tell you how it affects the combat, or there's going to be something peaceful that you can do, a peaceful option. So it's just going to give you all the instructions right here. So there is a little bit more to some of these cards, but we're going to talk about that as we go along. But basically that's what you're doing. You're either to start choosing, would I like to just do a straight up battle, or would I like to do an encounter? Either way, you are increasing your day dial by 1 when you start the activation. Let's maybe talk about our gear locks next, just to give a quick overview. Every gear lock has an innate ability. That is something that they always just get to do. It's kind of like their special strength that they have. So as an example, Nugget's innate ability is that she's a treasure seeker. You may treat instant rewards as one-time use items, keeping them in your inventory until you use them, okay? So this might be a good time to mention it, but anytime that you defeat a baddie, they're going to give you some kind of reward on the bottom. If it's a lightning bolt, it's instant. If it's a little downward arrow, it's a one-time use item that you keep in your inventory. Some of them have ongoing abilities that might extend your backup plan, etc. So the next thing that you're going to see on the gear lock card is their backup plan. So if you're new to Too Many Bones and the world of Too Many Bones, you might be curious. What is a backup plan? What does it mean? It's basically something that your gear lock is able to do to help them out using misses that they've rolled. So let's just say your gear lock rolled this yellow die and I rolled a critical. What are the odds of that? There's only 2 sides with hits, and they roll a miss. Well, you can't assign a miss to a baddie, but what you can do is you can assign it to your backup plan. And your backup plan is going to give you another special ability that you'll need to spend one of those die to do. As an example, Nugget's backup plan is Longblade. During the commit dice step, unapply a die on a defeated baddie, placing it with your other unapplied dice. So all you need to do the backup plan is you exhaust the die that's there. You can do it as many times as you have dice here to do that special ability, okay? If at any point you have all 4 of your backup plan filled, you can choose to exhaust all 4 of those die to flip over your gear lock, and that is going to give you an even better innate ability. You'll still keep your backup plan that you can continue to use, but now Nugget has her innate +1, so she can actually hold 2 items that treat instants as one-time use. And then there's also going to come with some stat increases. So this is going to allow Nugget to increase her rerolls by 1 and increase her stat die by 1. So this is as good a time as any to talk about what the heck these dice even mean. Your heart die is your health. That's how many health points you have until you kick the bucket, basically. That one's pretty straightforward. The blue die is called your strategy dice. So when we go into a battle, we are going to go into a roll phase. Once you roll, you're going to apply dice. But if you have more than 1 in your strategy die, you can do that roll phase multiple times. So if at first you don't succeed, essentially try again. You'll see how that works during the playthrough, but this is saying we basically get 3 attempts to defeat the baddies that are in front of us. The green die, I think I was calling it your reroll, but that's not what I meant. It is your recover. So once let's just say we've rolled all of these die, we have applied them, then we need to exhaust them. This die, this green die, is telling you how many die you can bring back into your available pool. Okay, so for this example, 1. So you put 1 back into your available pool, the rest remain exhausted. That is how those dice work. Okay, so let's just chat about battle and how that all works. And then I think we're pretty much just going to dive right into the playthrough so that you can just see how it works. Let's just say we have decided that we are going to do a battle and we're on day one, just to make it simple, and we are going to fight Dork. Okay, what a dork. He is a 1-point baddie. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to look at the top line of text for that baddie, because some of them have instant abilities that will take effect right away, or it'll tell you when they take effect. Some have an ongoing ability during the engagement, all of these different things. So you just need to make sure you read everything on the baddie. So as an example with Dork, this baddie gains 1 hit point for each other face up orc, which are the blue symbols. So face up means anything that's face up, including on top of your stacks. Okay, they don't need to be active in the fight. So right now that wouldn't be in play. So he would have a health of 2, hit points of 1. If I don't defeat him, he will hit me. And then there's going to be a reward at the bottom. Okay, so we have selected, we have built our battle queue. Now we are going to commit some dice. So we're going to look at our dice pool and remember that if we're using Nugget, we can only get 1 of them back. So you might not want to roll too many. Red is always a great one to roll because it's an automatic hit. Purple will be the next strongest, and so forth. So let's just say we want it to roll a blue and a red. So we roll them. Well, look at that. We got a crit. So that's 2 hit points for Dork. We apply the dice to the card that we want it to, and if they have been defeated, we knock them down. Now, if we hadn't, let's just say we got 2 misses or a miss and a hit, and so we could only apply 1 hit, well, that's when our strategy is going to come into play. This is saying I get 2 more phases of rolling if I want them or need them. So that was 1, so now I could do 2. I got another crit. That rarely happens, but if that was another miss, I could do it 1 more time. This is a good indicator. I keep rolling. I'm rolling very well so far. So if you defeat them, you tap them to let you know that you've defeated. If you have any more to fight, you continue to fight them until you are out of strategy phases. Any of your defeated ones, that's great. But let's just say we didn't defeat Dork. We never were able to defeat him. Then, unlike in some of the other sets of 20 strong, we're going to have to fight him again. Okay, but we'll talk about that in a second. So if we had defeated him, we are going to gain our rewards. So this is an automatic Scout 1. Scout, which is something we haven't talked about yet, is basically choosing one of the available piles and scouting. So you're just going to put it up into another pile up top. So now you have access to more baddies and you can also see what's coming next, just to give you a little bit more choices. The only thing you really need to know with scouting is on these Mulner cards is that if scouted, it will give you a negative effect. So you might not want to do that. But anyways, we would, if we had defeated him, we would gain the benefit. We would then exhaust any dice used. Okay, we will discard any of the baddies that we have defeated. Then we are going to recover die. So remember, I can only recover 1. I would take back my red die because it's the most useful one. And then we just go into the cleanup. Like I said, you discard. If we hadn't defeated, we would need to suffer damage. So in this case, I would take 1 hit. We would be down to 1, and then we would need to re-engage and go through that all again. And one negative part about that is the hits don't stay. You have to clear them. It's like starting fresh again, and you just go into another engagement and you fight. One thing though, if you do defeat, you then get to go into a recovery phase, just like in Too Many Bones, where you can either choose to gain 1 health, or you can scout 1 card. But if you don't defeat them, you don't get to go into the recovery phase until they are defeated. So this one Dork could beat you down. Yep, you wouldn't think it just by looking at him. But he could do it. He could do it. Okay, so that is how the battle works. And once again, you will see kind of how all of this comes together. Once you reach the day that you're able to actually do the tyrant encounter, you then just kind of have to take stock of what's going on in front of you to be like, yeah, I think I'm good to fight him now. Or you can wait. Like I said, once you hit day 12, you must fight the tyrant. Okay? So those are kind of the key things. I'm sure that I missed a couple of things, but I will cover everything as we play. So let's just get into it, I think. Let's just get into it and have some fun. As I mentioned before, I have lost this game in round 1 numerous times. If that happens, I'll just reset and we will play again. Okay? Sound good? Sound good, my jelly beans? Okay, perfect. All right, so the first thing that we have to do to set up is we have to remove, let's get all of these tyrant encounters. So you first have to remove 4 random tyrant encounters. That's for a standard game. You can increase the difficulty. I don't know why that's something that you would want to do. That feels quite silly. But if you want to, you can. But for a standard game, we remove 4 random. Then we are going to take all of our tyrant encounters, all of our lock-picking encounters, the Malnor encounters, Malnor, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, and then we just shuffle them all together. Now we need to choose a tyrant. So we have 4 options. We have Barnacle that takes, you can challenge after 8 days, Oxide after 11, Cinder after 10, and Nom after 9. And for me personally, I think I'm gonna go with Nom, and that's just because Nom is like the first tyrant that you fight in Too Many Bones, and I just, you know, he's got a special little place in my heart. Nom, 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 nom. So when Nom comes into play, count the number of tyrant encounters still in the encounter stacks. Nom has +2 health for each remaining tyrant encounter. Set the chip counter to Nom's new health as a reminder. It is no longer needed as a day counter. Activate Nom and a 5-point baddie from the stacks. Cool beans. So maybe we'll just put Nom up there. Nom in waiting, we call him. And then we get to choose our gear lock. So here's the thing. The most important stats on these cards are going to be your strategy and your recovery. My favorite one to use that I'm going to use is Duster. Even though, and this is probably why I lose early a lot, even though Duster only has 1 health, you might think, that's not enough. You're probably right. She has 3 strategy and 2 recovery, which is great. Plus, her innate ability is, in the suffer damage step, if there are 2+ active enemies, even if defeated, reduce the damage suffered by 1. So it's like she has a bit of a shield almost, and I can determine how many baddies are coming out based on the day. So I only need to get to day 2 before I can make this effective, essentially. And we're gonna set her die so she has 1 health, 3 strategy, and 2 recovery. Duster's backup plan is during activation, I can adjust the battle queue by +1 or -1 baddie point. And I know some people are like, why the heck would you ever want to increase it? But sometimes it's better to just fight 1 5 versus 4 1s. Okay, so that makes sense. I have to wrap my heated blanket around me because it's very, very cold in Canada right now. All right, so we are on day 1. So we need to decide, do we want to fight this little guy? Just this little guy? Or do we take the lockpick and get to 2 days so that we can kind of buffer ourselves from damage? So the Orc Deserter, at the start of each engagement, if there are no other face-up orcs, either activate a 1-point baddie from the stacks or lose 1 health. Here's what I'm thinking. So for day 1, which let's just tick up our encounter so that, or day counter so we don't forget, I am probably going to take this lightning on a stick. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna fight because he's gonna give me +1 health when I defeat him. So let's just do it. We're on day 1. We're gonna get a 1-point baddie and we're just gonna kick his butt. Who's with me? Orc Deserter. At the start of each engagement, so this is the start of our engagement, if there are no other face-up orcs, which would be a blue symbol, either activate a 1-point baddie from the stacks or lose a health. So I will activate a 1-point baddie. So this is actually really good because now there are 2 active baddies, meaning if I were to suffer 1 or whatever damage, I could block 1. So we have Bog Ribbits. That's cute. -1 heart each time you use your backup plan. Well, guess what? We just won't use it, and they're each hitting for 1. He only has a health of 1. He has a health of 2. I will always use my red die because I'll just get it back. And we have 3 rerolls. So let's use red and blue and maybe a yellow. Here we go. Oof. Okay, so that's not great, but I'm just gonna reroll everything because red's always gonna be a hit. Oh my God. We'll try that one more time. Come on. Are you freaking kidding me? That sucks. Okay, however, it's fine. I am going to apply this red to the Bog Ribbits, okay? Which is going to kill them. Pacham. We are not going to be able to kill the Orc Deserter. However, we're also not going to take any damage because we have 2, I block 1, okay? So, let's see. But what does suck a little bit is that we're going to have to put out another baddie. It's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so we are going to suffer damage, but we won't because we're blocking 1. Then we are going to do the after effects. So the Bog Ribbits, slot 1 exhausted die into your backup plan. Well, I don't have any, so I won't. Then we are going to exhaust die. We are going to recover die. Oops, all of these ones that I roll would also be exhausted. We are going to recover a die. We are going to clean up. So this one we're just gonna, let's put them over out of the camera. And then we are going to go into a new engagement. So because I didn't defeat all of them, I don't get to do the recovery or the, I recover 2 die. I don't get to do the recovery step, the scout or the heal. Okay, so we're in a new engagement. The engagement stays on the same day. At the start of each engagement, which this is a new one, I will choose to put out another 1-point baddie because if I lose a health, I'll die. So we have Panthera Fish. Hits cannot be applied to this baddie, regular hits. So they need a crit. And they have 2 health. So we're gonna roll a little bit more here. Oopsies. So we'll just start with these 3 and then you can always add die. So this is the first roll. Okay. So let's do this. So he's dead. Boom. Roasted. Okay. And then let's just take this. So this is our second roll. Oof. So we have 1 more. So we have 1 more shot. I'm wondering if I should just... I don't want to waste all of my dice on this. But so I just want to say, if I don't get this, I will die. Okay, thank God. All right, so we got it. This does nothing. Do we want to slot that blue? Yeah, so we'll slot the blue into our backup plan. We'll exhaust that. So he dead. All right, so suffer damage, but we're not going to suffer any damage. After effects, so the Orc Deserter is going to allow us to gain 1 heart. So we're up to 2. And then the Panther Fish is an item. So we can keep this, scout up to a number of times equal to the day. So that's pretty good. So that's a one-time use item that maybe we'll put here. And I wanted to mention too, the number of items that you're able to hold is the same number as your strategy die. So right now I can have up to 3. Okay, then we are going to recover. So we can recover 2. So we'll take purple and red back. And now we have 1 die for our backup plan if we wanted to use that. So that's fun. Okay, moving on. So let's see, what does this say? You may exhaust 1 die from your dice pool to change. Oh, okay. So for day 2, I am going to take this lock picking thingamabopper. And so we'll move up to day 2. Oh, I did complete a battle, which means I do get to recover. So I can either scout or gain a health, and I'm just going to gain a health right now. I feel like that's good. Anyways, that should have happened before. So I took the lock picking, we increased the day. So that is day 2. We don't get to recover or do anything because we didn't fight. So we're in day 3. Whoa. So we now have a tyrant encounter that has come up, which I say we do it because we want to get them out of the stack. All right, so I think we made a wrong turn. Ruh-roh, Rorge. Battle queue is 1 random unused tyrant. Ignore all text on the tyrant card. This does not count as facing the tyrant. So instead of building a battle queue, where the heck did I put those tyrant cards? So we are randomly going to grab one of these. So we have 2 8 health, 1 10 health, 2 are hitting for 3, and 1 is hitting for 2. Okay, so we got Barnacle. So, 8 health, 2 hits. Thank God I increased my health because I can't block anything because I don't have anybody else. So I have to fight and defeat him. And I can't use my backup plan. It will not save me now. So we're definitely going to use... This might be crazy. I am going to, because at least if I miss some of these, I can put them in my backup plan, I guess. We're just going to roll all of these and hope that we get a bunch of critical hits. Well, we got 2, so we'll assign these. So that's 4. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right. Please. I will keep that. So that's 5. So I need 3 more. Oh my God. I can't be using all these dice. We might just end up taking the 2 hits. Brutal. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Okay, so we didn't get it. So we have 2, 4, 5, 6 of 8. We have to take 2 hits, and then we're going to have to fight them again. I am regretting my decisions. Okay, I'm just going to put these in my backup plan. So, suffer damage. We have to take 2. So we're down to 1. Then we recover. So we only get to recover 2. Oh my God. This isn't good. We have 1 health left. Now, same day, we're just going to go back into the encounter. I have to be very careful here. I'm leaving myself with no dice left. Send help. I'd rather be fighting that dragon. All right, here we go again. 2. I'm looking. I should add another. Oh my God. Okay. I only have 1 more roll for all the marbles. All right, I have 4. I need 4 more. So if all of these get a hit, or at least some of them get critical hits. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Thank God. That's just gonna be exhausted. Oh my God, still brutal. Because I don't get any rewards from that. Oh my God. Okay, so we beat him. Sucker. All right, suffer damage. No, recover die. I only get to recover 2. Oh my God. But I do get to recover. So I will take a health. I am going to use this one-time ability. Scout up to number of times equal to the day. So we'll scout 3. We'll go 1, 2, let's just do 3. It might make things worse for me or better, I don't know. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So this card is gone. All right, so we're on day 4. Let's see. I do want to get through this stack. So knock off Ebonite goods. So I can either battle queue, baddie points, add 1 1-point baddie. So I'd have 4 1-point baddies. Because you're adding 1, you're not adding to the battle queue total. Or discard an item, then scout. Technically, I don't really have an item to discard. Let's just do, I don't know. Or I could just fight. I don't know. If I die, I die. I hope I don't die. So we'll do baddie points. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is an item, but I don't think that it is because it's still locked. So we'll do this. Battle queue, baddie points, and add 1 1-point baddie. But here's what I am going to do. I will discard during activation, adjust the battle queue by +1 or -1. So this is making me add a 1-point baddie. It's 4. So instead, I will exhaust 3 of my backup plan in order to make the battle queue 1 + 1. So I think, oof, I'll take that one. And then I have to take this one. At the start of each engagement, exhaust 1 die from your backup plan. Oh, sucker, don't have any. Okay, so this is the battle queue. Let's give her. Dragon Whelp, at the end of the first engagement of the battle, -1 to your stat die. So we want to kill that one quickly. This is at the start of each engagement, exhaust 1 die from your backup plan, but we don't have any. So they each have 2 health and they're each hitting for 1. So let's start. Whatever. Oh, poo. All right, so that's 1, 2. So we definitely want to kill 1 for sure. We'll be able to block the damage of whoever we don't kill. This one's more important to kill. But I am going to reroll these for my 3rd because you never know. Okay, well, we did. So we have killed the Dragon Whelp, which means we're not going to have to lose a stat. This one, I'm not going to put it in my backup plan because I'll just have to exhaust it anyway. So we are going to suffer damage, but we won't because there's 2 and that's my innate ability. Then we are going to do the after effects. So this one allows me to recover a die. So we will recover a purple die. Then we will get rid of them, exhaust our dice. And then we're going to have to go into a second engagement. Okay. But we do get to recover dice. Let's not forget about that. All right, so I'm just gonna start by rolling my red die. And his thing's not going to activate because because I don't have anything in the backup plan. I didn't finish my sentence. 2? God. I could just take a damage and just try. I just gotta try to get... I can't sacrifice any more dice. Oh my God. I flung it, but it worked. Okay, so that is him. Thank God. His benefit is slot 1 banish die into your backup plan. I don't have any banish die, so I can't do that. So he's gone. He is gone. We will recover. This is so brutal. I need to recover more dice. Okay, this one's gone. And do we want to scout? No, let's gain the health. That feels like a smarter thing to do. Oh, this lockpick isn't going well, is it? All right, so we are on day 5. So we could do a 5-point baddie, or this is probably the better thing. Is there a backup plan? I wonder. Battle queue is baddie points +1. At the start of the battle, exhaust all die in your backup plan. Oh, okay, let's just do that. Let's do this. Because guess what? There are none. So that's perfect. So baddie points +1. So we're on day 5, so it's going to be 6. So let's see. The troll has 8 health. That's outrageous. This one, if the baddie can, this baddie can have a max of 1 die of each color applied. Okay, for 4. Ooh, but that one is 8. They both hit for 3. This sucks. Let's do these 2, I think. All right, so we have a vile mushroom. I personally think all mushrooms are vile, but that's just me. -1 heart each time you slot a die into your backup plan. Well, let's just avoid doing that then. Kobold Elite. This baddie can have a max of 1 die of each color applied to it. Cool. So we have 2 health, 4 health. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm just like YOLOing it right now. Who knows what tomorrow will bring. Ooh, it will bring nice things. This is good. Because, okay, so this, guess what? Boom, dead. This, on the other hand, I don't want to use any more die. I won't take a damage because there's 2 of them and he's only hitting for 1. So that was my first roll. So this is 2. So what I could do is slot this instead onto my lightning on a stick. Love it. Okay, that went way better than I anticipated. All right, so we are going to not suffer damage. We are going to take the effects, slot 1 exhausted die into your backup plan. So let's do that. And then they're going to be gone. And then this one is also going to be gone. And this is an item. Ignore all damage dealt to you during the suffer damage step of an engagement. Oh, heck yeah. Let's hang on to that bad boy. All right. You're gone. You're gone. I am going to heal myself or gain a heart. Because the only one that I would really want to scout right now is this, and I don't want to lose a heart. Then I can recover die, so we'll get red and purple back. This is really not good. Like, really not good. Ooh. Okay, so we're on day 6. Come on, day 9. All right, so we have a couple of options. It's good though, right? Because I can reduce my battle queue by 1, so I'd only have to fight a 1 5-pointer. Okay, so exhausting conversation. We've all been there, am I right? So this is baddie points and add a 1-point baddie. Exhaust all die in your backup plan, then recover up to 2 dice. Oop, let's do that. Let's do that. Because that feels like a fair trade to me. So this is done. Okay, so we did the peaceful option. So we are on day 7. My heated blanket. I'm very cold. Okay, so let's see. We're on day 7. We're on day 7. We have space for another of these, but really I would just be doing that to get rid of it. So I could just fight and scout, but I'm not gonna. I think I'm just gonna take it. All right, so I have taken small spotting scope. If I'm able to unlock it, backup plan extension, I can scout. If you scout a Mulner encounter, do not incur the penalty. Okay, maybe I'll tuck it like this. You see? You can see. Okay, so that was my day. We're on day 8. Man, I'm gonna get some of these freaking dice back. Okay, so this one is, it takes 2 to make a thing called fight. It takes 2 to make it out of sight. All right, so we have baddie points plus 2. So 8, 9, 10. Which would be 2. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this because I cannot suffer damage if I choose to. Dice cannot be applied to other baddies. That's fine. I don't even care. See if I care. What's this guy? Stone Golem. All dice applied to this baddie are banished. That's not nice. I'm still doing it because his item, we can avoid damage here. Okay, friends? This is gonna be fine. We're all feeling great. We're feeling so good. Okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I don't know. 5, 6, 7, 8. Dice cannot be applied to other baddies, so we have to fight him first. Let's just try this. I don't know. 2, 3, 4. We definitely want that. Oh. That's gonna let me get back everything. 2, 3, 4. That was my first roll too. Let's try a blue. 5. So, follow me along here. I am not going to keep attacking. I am going to take the damage, but not really because I'm going to be getting rid of this item. So he's dead. Okay. Is this a stupid idea? No, it's not stupid. All right, so suffer damage, but we'll get rid of this guy. Ignore all damage dealt to you during a suffer damage step of an engagement. Consider it ignored. It's as if it never happened. Then we are going to get this item, which we would have had to because I wouldn't have been able to take it. Deal 1 damage to a baddie that would be defeated by this damage. Ooh, it's kind of like a little extra flick. Right, we'll exhaust those die. So we're going into another engagement. So I can only recover 2. He only needs 3. He's going to allow me to recover all of 1 color, but that's not going to include what's on him. So let's just try a red and a purple. That's 2. So we'll do 1, 2, fudge. Fudge. We need this. Perfect. All right, 3. I might just stick that there. Nah. I'm not gonna. Because this scout isn't gonna help me when I encounter the tyrant. So we're just not gonna worry about that. All right. So no damage, he did. Recover all exhausted die of a single color. We are going to take back all of our blue because it's going to give us the most bang for our buck. We are then going to, oh boy, that is not an instant. That is a one-time use. I don't have space. No espace. Okay, well, instead, I guess what I could have done is I could have not done this, used this to deal the final damage to take this. And I don't get all of these back. Except, now, I will. Hopefully everybody followed along with what I just did, and hopefully I did it right. So now I can, oh, we did this. How many of those did I do? 1, 2, 3. So there's still 1 in there. I'd prefer it if there weren't. So we're on day 9. Oh, right. I am going to take a health. So I'm at 5 health. So I'm on day 9, which means I could go after Nom. Nom. But I don't have to. It's just that, like, I don't have many dice. But these ones aren't giving me dice. Now, I'm going to do something crazy because I'm afraid we're not going to get to the tyrant battle if I don't just do it. Even though I should try to build myself up more. Man, usually there's like, I go through more of these to increase like more of these. But there's just not. So let's just go after an Nom. Nom. All right, Nom, Tyrant Battle. We are on day 9. Count the number of Tyrant encounters still in the encounter stacks. So there's only 1 left in there. There it is, close to the bottom. Okay, add +2 for each remaining Tyrant. So he has 9, 10, 11 health. So his health counter is at 11. Yep, activate Nom and a 5-point baddie from the stacks. Okay, this guy has nothing, and he has a lot of health and a lot of hits. This guy, what does his thing say? At the start of each engagement, exhaust all dice, slot it into your backup plan. Well, guess what? There are none, so let's go with that one. All right, here we go. So Nom is going to flip. His ongoing ability, hits applied to Nom are not exhausted in the exhaust dice step. That's good. At the start of each engagement, roll a die from your dice pool, then exhaust it. Oh no. If a miss is rolled, the max number of dice you can commit is equal to your stat. This sucks. Okay. Hits applied to Nom are not exhausted. That's good. All I need to do is defeat Nom. I don't need to defeat this guy. I'm not even worried about you, freaking doomed experiment. All right, at start of each engagement, roll a die from your dice pool, then exhaust it. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Then exhaust it. Of course. At the start of each engagement. So this is basically just saying if a miss is rolled, the max number of die you can commit is equal to your stat. So I can only commit 3 dice. So let's start by rolling these. This one, I'm not worried about him at all because we do still, there's 2 of them right now, right? So that's gonna protect us a little bit. Oh. Well, that was 1. Try that again. 2. I think I'll keep that one. We'll re-roll these and hope we get some crits. Okay, well, we got 1. So that was 3. So he's got 2, 3, 4 to knock off. Whoa, geez Louise. So he's down to 7. Okay? So we don't exhaust them. which at first I was like, oh, nice, but that means we don't get them back, which is less nice. So we are suffering damage of 2, whoops, minus 1, because there's 2 of them, so we'll only take 1, so we're down to 4. Oh, no, it's 4 minus 1. Oh, ruh-roh. So I was at 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. Oh no. 1, 2, 3. So we're down to 2. God darn it. Okay. And I only recovered 2. This isn't good. So I have to roll 1 and exhaust it. And I can only roll 3 dice. So he only has 7. Oh my God. This is terrible. Whose idea was this? I don't know if I am capable. If I don't kill him, I'm dead. If I don't kill him, I'm dead. Dead anyway. Oh, boy. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, wait. I need 7 more. I was like, I did it. Okay. So I hit him 1. I should move these up because those were already applied. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 2 crits. So I have to roll these. I just have to. Otherwise, I'm super dead. They're 2 hits, but it's not what I needed. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, which means he's down to 2. So I have to take damage. 4 minus 1. I'm dead. I couldn't do it. I couldn't freaking do it. I was really close though. Oh my God. So that is 20 strong, too many bones. Here's what I'll say about it. It is very, very challenging to win. Like the game itself is like the rules are relatively straightforward, but to win, I think I've only done it 1 time. However, if you have played Too Many Bones, that is like super on brand for Too Many Bones. So if you like a challenge, if you are really into a game that like you don't know, am I going to win or am I going to lose? I don't know. Sometimes it comes down to the dice rolls. Sometimes it comes down to like the cards that come up and all of that stuff. So if you're up for a challenge, then I do think you might like this game and all of the different sets. So far, I've played Too Many Bones and Solar Sentinels. I haven't played Hoplomachus Victorum. Still struggling to say that. But this one's definitely my favorite. That is just because Too Many Bones is one of my favorite games. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me in that epic battle where my dice management was poor. I didn't do a great job at that. Anyways, if you're interested in learning more about 20 Strong, I will make sure to put the BGG link in the description below. Once again, this is Jamie with Board Game Geek and Foster the Meeple. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you next month for our next solo mode, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!